Before the internet, there stands a podcast known as 3 for 3. A viewer comes from the country seeking admittance to the 3 for 3 podcast, but the man cannot understand them. Can he hope to understand them at a later time? That is possible, say the hosts. The viewer tries to watch more of their episodes. He had been taught that a podcast should be accessible to everyone. Do not attempt to understand that episode, say the hosts. It is very off the rails and offensive, and yet it is the least chaotic of all the episodes. From episode to episode, season after season, every discussion is more offensive than the last. By the host's permission, the viewer sits by his phone and he waits. For years he waits. He waits as the hosts make offensive jokes, forget people's names, and drink copious amounts of Voodoo Ranger. As the years pass, the viewer does all he can to bribe the hosts and make them stop. The hosts never fail to say to him, "We take what you give us, only so that you will not feel that you have left something undone." Keeping watch over the long years, the viewer has come to know even the Criterion Blu-rays on the host shelves. And, growing childish in his old age, he begs the Blu-rays to persuade the hosts to start making sense. And now, before he dies, all his experience is condensed into one question, a question he has never asked. He beckons to the hosts, and the hosts answer, "You are insatiable. What is it now?" Says the man, "Everyone strives to understand the 3 for 3 podcast. How is it then that in all these years, no one else has ever come here?" His hearing has failed, so the hosts yell, "No one can ever obtain admittance. No one can ever make sense of this podcast. This podcast was intended only for you." And now, we are going to close it. This is the tale of the 3 for 3 podcast. It has been said that the logic of this podcast is the logic of a dream, of a nightmare.
Welcome, everyone, to yet another episode of 3 for 3. I'm your host this week, Mr. Jackson Workman, and I'm joined by my two lovely chums, Mr. Matthew Patterson and Mr. Samuel Holler. And ladies and gentlemen, this week, we got some business to take care of. We're going for another round. We're going to go through some trials, but in the end, I think it's going to be as easy as 5 pieces. That's just, I think, how it's going to be. How are you boys doing this week?
Rough.
Rallying, but we're here.
I feel you.
But
Yeah.
I will say, every single movie that I saw this week for this podcast has vital importance to who I am as a human being and how I feel about my life. So it was a necessary episode, but I was fighting.
Definitely
All three are very similar.
This will be a week of high emotions. All 3 movies definitely strike a chord with you in a certain way.
I'm
I
But
think
happy
they
for
deal
it.
with a man at different points in his life going through big changes.
honestly, yeah, that is the theme. Like they go through a transformation of
All
sorts, or
three are midlife crises.
yeah, kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
dealing with some of the same issues. There are two movies this week where somebody violently shoves a bunch of things off of a table, but we'll get to that. Um, but I think to start, let's just go ahead and dive right into my pick, The Trial by Orson Welles. Because as you all know, longtime viewers know, every season I got to get something from him on here, and I've been waiting to get this one on for a very, very long time. So, ladies and gentlemen, picture this. You are a man, a mere bank worker. What is your name? Joseph K. And you awake one morning, just like any other morning. And who do you see in your apartment? The goddamn police. That's who. Exactly.
That's
And they are here to tell you that you are under arrest. But they won't tell you why. They never tell you why. Throughout the course of this whole movie, you never find out what you're actually under arrest for. But oh boy, it's something bad. It's a big case, and you're probably not going to win. And, you're fucked up. And on top of that, you got all kinds of other problems. You're very awkward. You're very meager. You got, this fucking, this woman of the night who lives across the hall from you, or next door to you, rather. And she's being really rude, and your landlady is being really weird, and your uncle comes along and he's, fussing at you to fucking hire a lawyer because you need one. Because holy shit, this case is just monumental. You need all the help you can get. But again, we just don't know what for. But that's not important because what's important is you need a lawyer, an advocate, and you go find an advocate played by none other than the director of this film himself, Mr. Orson Welles. I should also mention that Mr. Joseph K. is played by the fucking GOAT, Anthony Goddamn Perkins. He ain't stabbing nobody in a shower this time, but the law is stabbing him in the shower. That's what's happening, basically. The law opens the curtain and it fucking knifes his ass. And so he goes to the advocate and asks him to represent him, but the advocate's not really doing his job. He's just kind of like, letting him hang by a thread like a little puppet. And he's just fucking not really doing anything for him, just kind of making it more drawn out and complicated. And all kinds of other fucking crazy ass shit goes on. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting for your case to finally get to trial. And well, nothing ever really seems to come of it. Everybody you try to go to for help is basically telling you that the law is undefeatable, that you cannot win. They can tell by your expression whether you're going to win or you're going to lose. And they know that you're going to lose. Every time you open a door, it leads to the law clerk's office. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And all these women just keep coming up to you and trying to talk to you, and you're not having any part of it, you know? You're not about it. And it's not just because Anthony Perkins was secretly gay in real life. It's because he is scared. He's scared, God damn it. Although that is kind of, maybe it's part of the reason. But no, no, that's Anthony Perkins' reason, not Joseph K's.
He has to
So,
marry his
yeah.
cousin.
Say what?
That's why he has to marry his cousin.
Exactly. But
Keep the beard in the family so no one else knows.
and yeah, so basically it all boils down to the law is fucked. And that's just kind of really, if I were to sum up this movie in one sentence, that would be it. What's the plot of the trial? The law is fucked. That's my answer. And yeah, it is adapted from the book by Franz Kafka, of course. So if you know anything about literature, which I don't really, but I know enough about Franz Kafka to know that his work is very absurdist and satirical. And that is what this movie is. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. I go back and forth between this, Touch of Evil, and Chimes at Midnight as to what my favorite Orson Welles movie is. You ask me on 3 different days, I'll probably say each of those movies. Watching this one again, I feel like this might actually be my favorite, but then again, ask me a week from now, I may say one of the other two. I
It's
love it
very
so
Orson of
much.
you.
Say what?
It's very Orson of you because I know
Honestly, it
he
kind of
went through
is
all of
because
them being like, "This is my best one. No, this is my best one. No, this is my best one." And
honestly, yeah, that is something. He said that most of those were his favorite, like at different points in his life. But yeah, I love it to death. I This is my second time seeing it. I have been dying to get this on the show forever. And I'm very excited to hear what you both think. I'll go into more of my thoughts on it in a minute, but I'll let you two take it away real quick.
Sam, I'll let you go first.
okay, this movie disgusted me in a lot of ways. The production design is so fucking good that it's just genuinely upsetting anytime he's walking somewhere in the vast space that he's walking in that's full of people just clickety clacking on their typewriters, or he's in that little fucking closet watching that dude strip naked and get whipped with the belt, or he the giant fucking door that he comes out of when he first goes to the trial, like down to the sound design where like the lady with the neighbors trunk, when she had like the metal piece on her leg, you hear the creak of it every single step that she took. This movie is a fucking anxiety attack just built into itself. Kind of lost me in the middle when it really got into like the whole your cousin thing and everything, but then it just fucking fully came back into some of the most just upsetting, jarring imagery with him lying there shirtless, half naked, just like, are you gonna stab me or are you gonna make me do it myself, kind of thing. And it's just like, oh fucking Christ, this movie is upsetting, through and through upsetting. But god damn, I can't believe I had never even heard of this because it's so fucking good. It's makes me think of like how much I love Seconds when I saw that, and the like energy that that captured. Because the music when it gets to the part with the kids is just fucking made me my head want to explode, and like there's so much that happens in this movie. It's the most tight knit, kind of contained and claustrophobic openness I've felt in a movie in a long time. Because every single scene is just vast and wide, and there's so much space, and but it's also like you're in his head the whole time, so like you're stuck in that little like box. So
That's what I was thinking because like while it's vast and wide, I still felt like trapped the whole movie. Like even when he was outside, I didn't feel like he was outside. Like I knew he was, but it just didn't feel like it.
mm-hmm.
And maybe I missed something, but I don't think I did. This movie felt like one continuous day the entire fucking time. Like there was night and day scenes, but I don't remember him ever going to bed or waking up after the opening scene. And it just makes it feel like a fever dream the entire time, just getting worse and worse, and him getting like lost in this like labyrinth of like life, but also like these tunnels and these like places he would go into that would just seem endless at points, like liminal spaces before liminal spaces was like a thing. Um, I hadn't seen this before. I'm glad I own it. I didn't bring it out, but I do. I'm glad I own it.
Oh, I thought you
Um,
had seen it already.
I had watched it, but like half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I remember shots from it. Like I remember him running at the very end, running down the tunnel. I remember him climbing up like the stairs with the kids. I could not have told you what that was about. I remember Orson Welles like sitting his big fat ass in the bed, but I could not tell you what was going on. I remember the scenes, but not really why. And it's
Gotcha.
been so long that I basically it was like a new watch for me. So I'm counting this as like a not a rewatch. Uh, I mean, when he gets up there on the in the trial or the interrogation room and he starts like talking about stuff, and in my head I'm like, bro, you don't even know what you're sentenced for. Why are you going on this like tirade? Like you don't even know what the fuck you're there for, but he's still like, I got shit I gotta say. And then everyone's just clapping, and he's like, you guys don't even know what the fuck you're clapping about, basically. That was my favorite part. He's like, you guys are just clapping. And I'm like, thank you. Hell yeah, dude. Um, and I did not know Anthony Perkins was gay in real life. I feel like I might have known that at one point. We might have brought it up before, but that makes a lot of sense because Homeboy was just not having it.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
not in the
Um,
slightest.
But yeah, I mean, like normal Orson Welles, this movie does things that I don't think were being done at the time. The set design is perfect. The shots are great. Like 10 out of 10. And I felt very, very related when it's like all you can do is just combust. That's the law in life pushes you to the point where you're just like, I'm just gonna explode.
And he quite literally does at the end.
Yep.
Okay, so y'all think he died?
Of
I mean, I
course he
think,
did.
yeah,
Yeah.
he just
Okay, because
he
he ran and
combusted.
grabbed the dynamite. I thought he threw it up at them and then jumped down and tucked.
Nope.
And
I'm pretty
killed
sure he
the
just
cop.
held that shit and just.
He knew he was doomed, and he was like, "Fuck you! I'm just gonna hold on to it."
Yep.
I mean,
And
according to Orson Welles, the whole thing is a dream, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it could be a dream, but also at the same time, I think it's a little bit like, it's
yeah,
more fun when you think it's reality.
right.
And
Much more.
yeah, I mean, like Orson Welles' character, the advocate, said, like, sometimes it's better to be in chains than to be free or safer. And
Mhm.
he was like,
It's a
nah,
hard
but
fucking
he was
line.
kind of, Block was still alive at the end of the movie, as far as we know.
Yeah,
Homeboy was not. But
true. That's true.
yeah, I thought it was very, very well done. And like the part that got me, like I was talking about earlier, with the artist whose name is like
Titorelli.
Titorelli, great name. But
Is it because
I
tits in
just,
it?
huh? I know, just tits in it. And then all the kids, and he's like, "Don't make me get the ice pick." That shit killed me because I'm like, "Damn,
Yeah.
this guy's to poke this kid's eye out." That's where I thought we were about to go with that. And nothing is scarier than a group of fucking kids who are just happy, like weapons. We all know. Like it's just like, God damn, guys. I felt threatened by the kids, and they seemed like they were just joyous. But I'm like, why do I feel like they're gonna rip him apart?
Because they
Like,
probably were.
yeah. And that scene in the beginning too, when he first goes into the area for the interrogation, and all those people are just standing there like wide eyed and like with the signs around their neck, look horrifying at points. But you're right, Jackson. This is a very funny movie.
No, I maintain because we were talking before about all of these were like disturbing and heavy, and I'm like, I maintain this is a comedy.
I mean, it made me laugh at points, but also there was part that just was like, this is too, not too much, but
Apparently, I
said a
read
lot.
that apparently at one point Peter Bogdanovich went with Orson Welles to a screening of this, and Orson literally just sat in the back of the theater laughing his ass off the whole time, and he was the only one. Like everybody else in the theater was getting like annoyed.
I
They're
could
like, who
tell.
the they're like, who the fuck is that in the back of the theater laughing? And I'm just the image of him just like laughing his ass off and like slapping his knee just makes me smile.
I just had that feeling the entire time. I was like, bro is just giggling in the back, like when he's making this. He's just like, this is
hmm
funny. Like when he walks in the second time to the dudes after they're screaming, and they're like, "Don't worry, we have the tape on. We're not going to hear us screaming." And they just start like mouth like under the tape. I was like, "This is hilarious, but also disturbing." And I
Right.
bet bro was laughing.
It's the swinging light that really makes it so fucking jarring and upsetting in that moment.
He also he and Anthony Perkins apparently disagreed over whether the main character was guilty because he told Anthony Perkins to play it like he was hiding something, and Anthony Perkins was like, "Well, aren't you worried that people are gonna think he's guilty?" And Orson was like, "He is guilty. He's guilty as hell." And I'm just like, "Oh shit,
He's
okay."
playing the role.
Yeah, I'm like, that's interesting. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and say, this movie, Jesus Christ. Um, the first time I saw this, I was on a bit of an Orson Welles run. I had seen Magnificent Ambersons. I had seen Touch of Evil. I was on a hot streak. And then I went and saw this one, and I was like, okay, I knew nothing about it whatsoever. I assumed it was going to be like a courtroom drama just based on the name. And then the little like prologue at the beginning kind of prepared me more when he said like the logic of this story is the logic of a dream. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess that kind of prepared me for what the tone was going to be." So when it was like completely absurdist like, satire, I was like, "Okay, yeah, he prepared me for that." But I had no idea and like I just went on that journey having no idea what I was in for, and I was like, oh my God. Like you said, Sam, I'm like, I had heard of this movie, but I knew nothing about it, really didn't know anything about, and I was just like, how have I never seen any of their like heard of this? Like, this is fucking crazy. And by the time it was over, I was just like, I've never seen anything like that before. That was, I think my review was like, I've never seen a movie like this. Especially, and we've said it before, bro was so ahead of his goddamn time. Like, show me another movie from this time period that's like this. I swear to God, like this completely balls to the wall absurdist satire like this with these kinds of shots and this kind of like I mean the shots in some of the best cinematography I've ever seen. It's Edmund Richard who also shot Chimes at Midnight shot this and god damn the scene where he's running through the hallway at the end the shots of like the kids like looking creepy as shit outside the door so disturbing that scene at the end where he's arguing with the advocate in front of the projector was just so well shot. So many, and bro, I swear to God, because this was when Orson was in his like full-blown European exile mode, like having to like was just desperate for money, barely had any funding. And I'm just like on a shoestring budget, probably getting the money as he's making the movie, like even with those circumstances, bro's technical proficiency is ungoddamn matched. Like so many of the scenes, the way they're shot, the way they're blocked, the way just like all of the people at the typewriters just typing in unison and then all of them just like getting up and leaving and the big ass shot of like all of them like leaving the building at once. I'm just like this man knows how to fucking stage a scene, God damn it, I swear. And it is very like upsetting at points for sure, and it is very anxiety inducing, but it's so goddamn funny, like for so much of it. Just like the big ass scene in the courtroom where he's just like giving the big speech and everybody's just clapping. I'm just like, this is hilarious. I'm sorry. And then just the two like the girl and the guard are just making out against the wall and shit, and I'm just like, this is really fucking funny. And yeah, so much of it. Anthony Perkins should have been nominated for a goddamn Oscar for this movie. I'll say that as well. Like, maybe my favorite performance he's ever given. And so many other. Orson Welles kills it as the advocate. I remember watching it for the first time being like, is he gonna be in it? Like, where is he? He's got to be in it somewhere. And I
He's
was
the
happy when he finally
ovular
showed up.
shaped man who appears halfway through.
So what?
He's the overly ovally shaped man who
Oh,
appears
he's ovular.
ovular shaped man that appears halfway through.
Yes. And he was great, of course. And then of course last week, Jeannie Moreau, who plays Miss Burstner, we saw her very briefly looking for her dog last week. And this week she was looking for her dog on the street at night. And this week she's a woman of the night, learning that Anthony Perkins got that dog in him.
Bang
So, but
Found the dog.
so what?
She found the dog.
That's right.
woof woof bitch.
Yeah, rough, rough.
But don't
But
talk about her goddamn mother. Leave her mother out of this.
don't touch her mother's picture.
Couldn't even put
But
that
yeah,
in the frame.
she was great. Akeem Tamirov, who played Block, who he's now in the Hall of Fame. Funny enough, this is his third time on the show, and he was honestly one of my favorite parts. Like, and he's been in a lot of Orson's movies, and this is all the parts he's played. This is my favorite. I don't know. I just love his character in this, and just when they're trying to when Orson's like dressing him down and just like shitting all over him basically. That scene is so fucked, but I'm also just like, I don't know, this is low-key hilarious at the same time. And yeah, the whole thing is just so every aspect of the movie is just masterfully well done. It's so goddamn. And again, like we kind of talked about in Touch of Evil, where that movie was ahead of its time, kind of talking about police corruption, which nobody understood at the time. Talking about like kind of how fucked up the legal system is also wasn't like super common in movies anyway at the time, I feel like, especially not this scathing. And I feel like in both
You're allowed to critique it in France, but not in America.
and yeah, I just think that like in both cases because they didn't get neither movie got the best reception when it came out, you know, and I think a big reason why is because people just didn't understand what he was trying to say because they're like most people were just like how could you criticize the legal system? Like the legal system is fair and just, whereas now, of course, we know better and we're just like, no, it is not. These are all real problems. Because one of the most fucked up parts of the movie to me is towards the end when he's talking to Titorelli and he's just like basically telling him like even if you win, you're still kind of fucked because the consequences of having been accused and having been put on trial will still kind of linger over your head, you know, and you still got to pay legal fees and like all this stuff and
Tell
it's
that to
like
OJ.
wow. Say what?
I said, tell that to OJ.
Yeah, he didn't say shit. He
No,
didn't.
but it helped. Kept him in the spotlight, you know? People are still
Hey, it made
talking about
him.
him years later.
Yes, yes, we are. Made him infamous.
Yes. And he was, like Orson Welles said, guilty as hell. Sorry, I just.
No,
There's no
because an innocent
presidential pardon
man,
for that.
an innocent man, writes a book called "If I Did It," explaining exactly how he killed her. So clearly he was innocent.
Mhm.
But yeah. But I just
There's the
think that,
comedy there.
yeah.
We need
But
we need
yeah,
a sequel to the trial or a remake stat.
yeah. Well,
It's gonna
OJ
be
can't
called
act
The
in it because
Glove,
he's
not
dead
The
now.
Trial.
Say what?
It's gonna be called The Glove, not The Trial.
Um,
Anyways,
but
sorry.
yeah,
Fuck you, Ryan.
great. Great shit. It was absolutely wonderful seeing it again. Um, I love the music too. I know it's all like pre-existing music, but the way
So
it's
good.
used, I
Well,
thought was
there's
very
some
effective.
original music. I can't remember the French composer's name, but like the when he's being chased by the kids, all that stuff is like
Hmm.
really fucking unsettling to hear.
Which I'm just watching that scene again where they're chasing him down the hallway. I'm just like, I swear I can't think of another movie from this time period that looks like this, that has this kind of imagery, that has these kinds of shots, and I'm just like, even if there were, it was not common, and I'm just like, bro was so goddamn ahead of his time, and I've said it before on this show. Bro literally just never stopped innovating. Like every goddamn movie he made, he innovated and found new shit to do. And yeah, it will never cease to amaze me just, you know, what he achieved with each of his movies. This
I
one in
love, I
particular
love
was
that
just
every single movie he's in, though, he's still sweating like a motherfucker.
I mean, he looks. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When they had that like the hot rag over his face, and there's just the steam coming out off. I was like, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah. And yeah, the every time they're in his like lair, it's kind of unsettling, just the way it's lit and the way it looks, and he just is very kind of intimidating. The
I love,
shots where it looks like he's like towering over everybody, I really like that because it made him even more intimidating. And then yeah,
I'm gonna have to rewatch this because I did not find a lot of this funny in any way, shape, or form. It was like very fucked up and just like unsettling and just frustrating and all sorts
it
of stuff.
is. It's both. Like it's very unsettling and anxiety inducing, but it is fucking hilarious. Just like how absurd this is. Like the three coworkers who just keep standing around and watching him and shit.
In the
Is
nod.
so goddamn
Yeah.
funny.
And then what? Honestly, the scene where they hear the screaming and he runs past him, and he's like, "It's just a little dog in the corner. It's just a dog trapped somewhere." I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
And just the scene where his uncle comes to visit him, I don't know why that scene is just so funny to me, where he's just like, "Is it true?" Just like,
Well,
yeah.
at
Said
first he's like,
yes.
"Do your work. Don't mind me."
Hmm.
And then he turns around. Is that a criminal case? I'm like,
I
"Damn,
see.
bro."
You just don't even want to talk to your own uncle.
Yep.
Much less your cousin that you're supposed to marry, for fuck's sake.
Hmm.
I don't I don't
Um,
understand that plot line, but
yeah, that's what I like though, is like a lot of it a lot of it isn't really supposed to make any sense. And just, you know, a lot of it is just like because you have these random ass moments, but they do mean something. Because again, like showing how corrupt the examining magistrate is who just like just sends the guy in to like lift the girl out of the fucking room, and then he like chases her and shit. I'm like, this is just hilarious. I'm sorry. It's fucked up, but it's hilarious. Um, but yeah, uh, I genuinely love this movie to death, and it is a fucking masterpiece. And I was very excited to show both of you this movie because
I
I
think
just,
it's up there with my top, if not like right there, because
I was hoping, I
it's
figured, I was like, I know Sam in
rich.
particular, this seems like his brand of like weird fucked up shit. So,
It's just
but,
rich. There's so much in every single shot, every single sound, every single line of dialogue, every single performance gives it. So
in my head canon, in that one room in the advocate's office, those are all Charles Foster Kane's newspapers that are all over the room. I'm just like, it's all connected.
yeah, I think about that dude stripping naked and then getting beat with the belt, and then Perkins is trying to like force his way out the door, and the dude's just yanking on his arm, trying to be like, "Help me."
It's one of those things that like, because you're like, you think like when he's accusing them of like being corrupt, and then they're like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Like, yeah, we're going to get beat now. I'm just like, oh shit. Didn't see that coming. But
And the way
yeah,
of like he would like fuck up words, and then they would use those words to come back and like,
my pornograph.
yeah, what's this thing about a pornograph? And he's just like, I can't explain it. And then the ovular sentence, and then he starts
Hmm.
to be the one that says ovular.
Well, then he's just again that scene to me is hilarious where he's just like, ovular? That's not a word. Well, I know it's not. That's what I was trying to tell them. Like, this isn't going to help your case,
Yeah,
sir. Do
like,
you genuinely think that I don't know, like so much of that was just like fucking hilarious, but yeah.
I love when he pulls open the law books and there's just like the nude pictures, and he's like, they really are dirty.
Forgot about that. Oh my God. Yeah. So many, like there's so much purpose to everything that happens where they're just satirizing the entire legal system, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. It is really goddamn funny. And really, yeah, also kind of anxiety inducing. And it is, as he says at the beginning, it is a nightmare. It is a logic of a nightmare.
Yes.
But yeah,
I was
I
a little thrown off because the opening text being in French without subtitles was like, wait, what? But thankfully, IMDb had the translation, and then it was pretty much for the most part kind of what Orson narrates at the very end about how the book is inspired by Kafka and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay,
pretty much. Um yeah, and I just because I finished it this time, and I'm just like, some movies, you watch it a second time and you may still like it, but it doesn't necessarily hold up as well. And this one was like, nope, this one completely held up on rewatch. Like, yeah, technical mastery is unfucking matched. The cinematography, the production design, all of it. And again, considering what a shoestring budget he made this on, it's just like they literally, a lot of the scenes in the law offices were filmed in a train station that like
that's awesome.
they just took it over. I think it was an abandoned train station, and they just took it over and just repurposed it. And I'm just like, bro got the most out of that set as he possibly could, really disguised it to make it look, you know, like a law office. And I don't know. It, yeah, but phenomenal movie. I felt like there was one other thing I was going to say about it, but I can't remember. It'll probably
It's
come to me later.
almost cultish during the actual like interrogation trial part where he's just like up there, and then when he hits the book off and it falls and the dude catches it. That's a very side note. Um, I was just like, oh man, these people are fucking out to get this goddamn motherfucker to any means necessary. And then just having him close the giant door and the door handle being like 5 feet above his head, I was just like, oh, he must feel very small now. There was a lot.
Oh yeah. I think every shot in this has some kind of meaning behind it. Um, and yeah, so great, great shit. I'm glad I finally got it on here. I have been dying to have it on here forever. So yeah, that's a big one off the bucket list. Um, And I guess if we're all done with the trial, now, my friends, I think it's time to take a little journey all the way from the legal system to a little country I like to call Denmark.
Mm.
And now, boys, it's time for another round,
All
which is
right.
Mr. Patterson's pick. Take it away, good sir.
What a life.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to picture this. You are Mads Mikkelsen, aka Martin, and you are feeling very lonely. You don't really, not lonely. You're feeling very boring. You're wondering where you've been at. You're not feeling very inspired by life. And then you hang out with your old pals. You're at dinner for your friend's, I think, 40th birthday. And you're all talking about this, I'm trying to use the word right.
Theory?
Theory, yes, by a psychiatrist, that says humans are naturally zero point 0.5 under their normal blood alcohol level that they should be at. And if you operate at an 0.5 blood alcohol level, you'll be the optimal person, basically. Your life will be better, your social life will be better, be more relaxed, more confident. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to test that theory just a little bit. And that is the basics of the plot of another round, wherein these four teachers decide to do a little experiment to see if drinking, just during the day, just like Hemingway did during their jobs, just enough to have an 0.5 blood alcohol level, will in fact make their lives better. And spoiler alert, it does for a bit.
And then you
'Cause drinking-
exceed the 0.05.
Yes. History would not be the same without alcohol. It is maybe one of the most important things that we don't talk about, is how important alcohol plays into the ongoings of important political figures and historical figures. And dare I compare it to saying that alcohol played a very important part in the 3 for 3 podcast, getting to where it was, especially the 420 Easter episode. So, with that in mind, they up it because, hey, their lives are going well. Bro's inspired. They're all kicking ass and teaching well, except for one dude who's slipping slowly into alcoholism. Tommy. Poor Tommy.
Well, they all are, really.
Yeah, they all are, but, he's the one who's, getting caught. It's like, it takes one dude to fuck everything up. Come on, bro. Of course, it's the coach. But, yeah, and then...
Specs needs a future mentor to think about.
Yes. I mean, yeah, Specs is fucked. He's next in line. But yes, and one of the things they do talk about is the huge aspect alcohol plays in Denmark's youth, because Denmark is in fact one of the very highest alcohol countries in the world, especially for teens, mainly because it's not viewed as a bad thing there, but in fact a good thing. And over the course of the movie, there's some ups and downs, mainly ups and then one big down, as it gets worse and worse, and they eventually do start getting found out by the school that they teach at. And Tommy, who just really, he's losing it. They're all losing it, but because his wife, Martin's wife, leaves him. Homeboy at the other guy, Nikolai, I think. He's going home pissing himself, just like his kid. And eventually, Tommy just can't take it anymore, and we don't know exactly if he died on accident or on purpose, but I'm pretty sure it was a suicide.
That was my interpretation of it.
Yeah. And they have to live with that. And so they relax for a bit, they stop drinking. However, at the very end of the movie, Martin's wife wants to get back with him. They're having a nice little sparkling wine on the side of a river bank that I don't know the name of, and they're hanging out with some kids who are just partying as they should. And they find life again through alcohol. They find and lose life through alcohol, because the point of the movie is not to quit drinking. It's just to moderate it.
responsibly. Yeah.
Just in moderation, guys. And
But there
Mads
is no
Mikkelsen, who was a
responsibility
ballet.
when you're drunk. There is no responsibility when you're drunk. Only
Nope.
afterwards when you have to deal with what you fucking did.
You just dance and jump into the river. But yes. Also, side note before I let you guys take it away. Or two side notes. One, Sam, I think you and I would fucking kill that lake game in the beginning.
Oh yeah, we would.
We would have fucking
Yeah, we
decimated that
would.
shit. And then two, this is the second movie of this episode that starts out with a prologue about dreams.
True. It has an opening
Because-
quote, doesn't it?
Yes, it's
Just like the
what
trial,
is
yeah.
youth? A dream? What is love? The content of a dream.
Hmm.
So, yes,
That's rough.
that is another round. It is. I don't know. This is my second time seeing it in a while. I'm gonna be honest. I did not appreciate it as much the first time. I appreciated it. I was like, all right, I'm fucking with the movie, but I was kind of like, I was a little bored at points. And this time I was very much invested. Huh?
I'll need to get into that with something that when it gets to me.
Okay.
I need to talk about that.
I felt like it was a little slow, and then it picked up, and then it got slow again for a second. But this time I was a lot more invested. I felt more related to Mads Mikkelsen's character to a degree, because I was that back in the day we were just drinking all the time, and now I do it still semi-often, but not as much. So sometimes I'm just like, life is boring. Am I boring? And it's like, no. But I'm not the Matt I once knew.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I really liked it this time. It was a lot more impactful and mature than I think it was going to be, because I read that his daughter, who was going to be in the movie, did pass beforehand.
4 days
And-
into filming.
Yep, and it was a lot more of an aggressive movie, and he turned it around into more of a life-affirming movie, which I do appreciate, because apparently she did have a lot of fun experiences with alcohol, and like how that it was, or not fun, but interesting experiences maybe, and that affected her youth because of the way it is shown in Denmark. And I don't know, it's a very interesting movie because like I think this is one of those things where nobody else could come up with this but like Thomas Vinterberg. He wrote it as a play a long time ago, but it's like very personal, and not just because his daughter died, but like just the concept of it. It's like it's not like a yeah. And I was like, okay, And there's one shot that I love where Mads is drinking like wine, I think, and then he looks at his clock and it's like it's 8 o'clock, and then it just cuts back to him drinking water. Like literally, it's like that one cuts of the time, and then back to him drinking water, and I'm like, but of course things get out of hand, as things often do with alcohol, especially when you're having a good time on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the major mistake was raising it to the 0.10 blood alcohol level. Like,
Be honest, how many times have y'all been like them when they were looking for fresh cod in the store?
yes,
A couple times.
I was about to say plenty of times. I was like them dancing around to the music when they're all just drinking, getting obliterated. I'm like, that felt like me, Sam, and Ricky at point.
Fortunately, I don't think any of us have knocked over a bottle of wine in the store and then just like not given a fuck whatsoever. Fortunately, maybe it has happened and we just don't know.
And then when they're
You
just
might not
like,
remember. Yeah.
they're on the dock, just like trying to like, I'll use a crab to catch the cod.
It's for me. It's when he jumps in the water, is swimming, and then they throw the life vest behind him, but like really far behind him, so it's like it's in the water now. Someone's
Yep.
gonna fish that out.
Yeah. But I'll let you guys take it away. What'd you all think of it?
What fucks me up is the watch party Matt and I had back in 2020 when we saw this the first time, which was we double featured Brandon Cronenberg, the kid, whatever his name is, Possessor, and then we followed it up with this. And it was Matt, me, Stuart, Max, and I think somebody else. And it's like, why would you get like 6 people into a fucking room to watch a Denmark film that is about drinking yourself to death practically? But we had so much fun with it, and it was just a great experience watching like everyone kind of react to different things and whatnot. And the last song that plays, which I love that Vinterberg's wife was the one who was like, this is the song we need to use and everything for it. stuck in my head for weeks after we saw it.
Well, I watched this late last night, and for the entire rest of the night until I fell asleep, it was still in my head.
Um, and then like months later, finding out that his daughter read the play that he wrote and was like, "This makes me feel validated and seen. I need you to make this into a movie." And then for her to die 4 days into production and just derailing the whole entire thing. But him still succeeding and coming back and finding a will to like move on and keep going. And this movie makes me really sad, but it also makes me really happy. And it makes me like it's so interesting to see how each of the four teachers' lives are both ups and downs, and like how for so long you think Mads Mikkelsen is like, this is good, it's actually benefiting his life, and then he starts to hit that grinding point where he starts fucking up his whole life, and then the music teacher starts fucking up his life, pissing in bed and all that shit. Or not, that was not the piss in bed dude, that was the other teacher. But just all of them fucking up their lives and not seeing what they were doing to themselves and needing more help than they realize. Like there's so much fucked up shit that goes on in this, but so much that I think is just it's fucked up because it's real life. It's people that we know, it's people that probably have affected us in ways that we didn't even realize. Like I'm sure there are a bunch of teachers I know that I was going to school with who were drunk as fuck the whole time they were teaching us. And it's really cool to see like just the culture differences with the youth and everything. And I don't know, this movie means a lot to me. I love it. I love it a lot. And it all culminates to that last scene where he finally feels free running in the rain of champagne. And I
When he
heard
finally gets back to his ballet roots, that's what I didn't
yeah.
realize that the first time, and I was like, oh, I didn't pick up on the fact that he was a fucking ballet, teacher before dancer, and I'm like, oh, that's why he dances. I just thought Homeboy was just
Because
still,
they keep saying the whole movie, like, why don't you do your dance, do your dance, and he won't do it. And then at
yeah.
the end, he finally does it. And I kind of didn't realize that either till afterwards. Like, I was like, that's the catharsis of the movie is he finally does it.
Now,
Um,
I've never reached behind the bar to steal something, but I've definitely had moments where someone is at the bar with me doing some fuck shit that's going to get them in trouble, and so all of us try to distract the bartender as they're trying to yell at them while the other person does that shit. I really appreciated that representation. Um,
um, so yeah, I'm glad you picked this, Matt, because ever since it came out a few years ago, I'd been wanting to see it, and there have been so many memes made out of the last scene where Mads Mikkelsen's dancing around. I've seen that done to like many different songs. So I'd seen that part, or at least part of that part. But I wanted to see the whole movie because I remember hearing it was really good when it came out. Um, and just in general, the first half of this decade, the first few years, I haven't seen enough from, so catching up on it is pretty nice. Didn't really know what I was in for. Just knew it was about a guy who's an alcoholic. And man, I gotta say, I got home late as shit last night. I was like tired. I was not feeling it. I was like, God damn, okay, I gotta watch this. It was one of those deals where it was like, I'm just gonna sit down and turn it on and we'll just see what happens from there. And I was a little, again, at the beginning, still just kind of out of it a bit. But as it kept going, I locked in more and more and more. And then there came a point where I was like, all right, I'm not distracted anymore. I'm locked into this thing. I'm really gripped by the narrative and the characters and everything. And this is really working for me. And I liked it a lot the whole way through. And just the places that it went and just how interesting the concept was of like, all right, what if these guys just tried this little experiment to see how it like affected their lives and shit? And there were all kinds of things I was noticing along the way where I was just like, you guys didn't need the alcohol to do any of this. I'm like, you could have just gotten more passionate about your teaching. Like, there's nothing stopping you from just being this passionate of a
Oh,
teacher.
sometimes
No,
you need
no,
the
that
alcohol just a little bit.
they didn't need it. I maintain that is the point of the fucking movie. They could have, these are all things that they just could have done on their own. They're using the alcohol as an excuse, basically.
well,
They're
the
they're
alcohol
using like
gave them the drive and the energy to feel comfortable enough doing it.
that if you need alcohol to have drive and energy, you have a problem. Like you should be able to do this kind of stuff,
Well,
you know.
according to that psychiatrist, we all have a problem. We're all negative -0.5.
I guess so. But yeah, no, because I'm literally watching the scenes where he's teaching the class and being all enthusiastic, and I'm like, there's no reason you can't just do this without alcohol. Like I'm just like that to me is the point of the movie is and there's no reason he can't go on a canoeing trip with his family and have a good time with them and be attentive and be I'm just like they're the problem. Like they are completely they have the ability to at least try to be excited about life, but they're not. And they're basically using that their apathy and their disinterest as an excuse to just kind of drink and become alcoholics and things like that.
Well,
And
that's why it
then
works at first, but then they take it to such extremes.
because
If they
again, they
had
were
just kept
always
it at the
gonna.
0.5 and then ended the experiment, then they would have been probably
But
fine.
that's the
But
point
of
though.
course,
Is
alcoholism
that's because of their
sneaks up on you.
mentality, they were never gonna just cut it off. They were just kind of using it as an excuse to get drunker and drunker and kind of abandon their responsibilities a little bit more, which they were tired of, because they felt like it was weighing them down and shit. Um, and who knows, maybe by the time I get to their age, I'll want to do the same thing. But I'm just saying, it's
You'll have that
it's
Paul Masson taped to your chest.
We're
there
gonna be
you go.
like, Jackson, there's alcohol here. There's alcohol here. And I found a hip flask over here. All Paul Masson, by the way.
We'll sell no wine before it's time. But what was I gonna say? Oh, but and to me, I don't. I'm guessing you guys probably feel differently, but to me, like I liked it the whole way through, and then that last scene where he's dancing. I just that scene hit me like a goddamn truck because I was just like that was when the whole movie just like clicked for me and I went from thinking it was a pretty good movie to like this is an amazing movie. Holy shit. Because to me I do not think the ending is in any way uplifting or optimistic. I was genuinely horrified by that last scene.
He's going
I was like,
back.
oh my God, like they're just gonna keep descending into alcoholism and abandoning their fucking responsibilities and shit. Like their friend died. They should quit right then and there. If not, I mean, and just the wife texting him saying, I miss you too and shit. And he's still just like, fuck it, I'm getting shit faced. I don't care. Like they're just, to me, the whole ending scene was just they're past the point of no return and they're not going to come back from this. They can't stop themselves. And just seeing that super upbeat song playing over him just dancing and drinking and when he's been trying to stop for the last 30 minutes of the movie and just seeing like nope, he can't do it and just the song after seeing all the horrors that you've witnessed and all the terrible things that they've been through and how it's destroyed their lives and the lyrics of the song saying there's like it's okay there's nothing wrong with living this way and I'm just like clearly right after everything we've seen and he's saying like and I'm scared but like what I'm more scared of what's waiting on the other side or something in the lyrics of the song where it's just like yeah drinking scares me but I'm even more scared by facing my emotions like of being boring or dissatisfied with life if I don't drink and that scene where he just jumps off the fucking, into the river. I literally that last scene absolutely just was horrific to me and like a deep, deep level. I was like, oh my God, like it just hit me so hard. And that was when I was like, this is an amazing movie. It's so fucking tragic. I think the last scene is genuinely tragic as fuck.
Not
And,
to
and
open
it
a
just
can of
hit me
worms
so hard.
for Matt and me, but I feel like drinking is so many different things. It's a source of joy. It's a source of like a crux or a crutch to like get over something. There's so many things you could use it for, and I think that's especially why he feels the most free there because it is this thing that he is falling back on to forget what he is dealing with, and that's where he's free and he's able to run around and just live. And I think I've fucking dealt with that shit. I don't know about you, Matt, but I feel like using it for the wrong reasons and the right reasons, and then not knowing the difference between the two is something that really comes with it. but I don't know. It's where like them drinking together never felt like an issue until when I first saw it versus now versus where like going out and drinking with your friends was the exciting thing to do, and then you get to see each of them individually start diving into the hole on their own without even communicating with each other, and then it's a very big message of checking on your friends because I love the scene where Mads is like at Tommy's house cleaning it up and just stopping him from drinking over and over again. And then the line that he says that it's like a throwaway line is like, I just like the taste of it. It's not even like I need to drink it. And I'm just like, fuck, I've felt that way before too and stuff. And so like there's so many small parts that it's like you can see yourself as someone who drinks um, falling into and trying to not fall into and then inevitably somehow ending up there. And I don't know. This movie is deeply fucked in a really good way because it shows the positives and the negatives in both of their extremes.
Yeah.
So
And to your point, Jackson, I do want to. I was going to throw this one out there. Is I think like culture wise, drinking because we had mentioned the fact that youth do it all the time, and I know it's not necessarily a good thing, but I do think culture wise, drinking is a little bit of a different vibe in Denmark. Like they legit don't see it as a bad thing. Even the older people don't really see it as a bad thing. And so, and I know Thomas Vinterberg said he wanted to make it a life affirming movie. And he said it was like more of like waking up to life is what the movie's about. And so that's kind of, I don't know if the intention might get like, skewed just depending on who you are and like where you come from and what you're used to on that end.
I have
Cause
also heard him say though that it's about because I watched after I got done with it, I watched his Oscar acceptance speech, and he did say it's about four men who kind of whose lives fall apart also. So I'm like, he is acknowledging that it's not good what they're doing.
yeah.
So, but
Well, the
yeah.
ending, I looked at more of as a positive like way of like I can still do this and not like let it just destroy me. But and like maybe it did bring him back to his youth a little bit because that was the going back to the opening thing.
And
Um,
because I was, after I got done, I was looking, because I wanted to see what other people thought of the ending. Because I was like, I'm sure there are people who think about it the same way I do, but I'm sure there are also a lot of people who probably don't. And I kind of want to see what their interpretation of it is. And I saw a lot of people say, yeah, like, oh, well, I thought this was uplifting. And, he's learned that, yeah, basically don't take it too far, but just enjoy yourself. And I'm just like, you can't do that if you're an alcoholic, though. Like, that's what alcoholics tell themselves. Like, oh, just a little in moderation, just a little bit with dinner, just a little bit here, just a little bit while I do this. Um,
just
yeah.
say what I just
I
saw.
knew we were gonna have some good visual bits with this pick.
Yep.
But that's what they tell themselves, and I'm just like, and I also was seeing people say like, as a former alcoholic, I saw that ending scene as a very depressing scene because, I know what this implies and I've been through this and, all that stuff. So I think it is kind of cool how you could sort of interpret either one from it. I'm not even saying I'm necessarily like right. I think it does kind of depend on who you are and how you view the scene. It's just like for me, it was just so powerful. Like just seeing, because for me, right, I was so invested the whole way through in the four of them quitting drinking, just like because it had become clearly they were at a point where they could not handle it anymore. They could not stop. And a lot of the decisions were intentional, and I'm just like, this isn't just like, this isn't happening by mistake. Like, no one made them like boost the blood alcohol content like crazy, and like, no one made them do all that shit where they're like fumbling around the shop, knocking shit over and everything. They chose to do that because that's what addiction does. You start off small and it grows and grows, and it's dependent on your personality, a lot of the time. And I think that like I was just so invested in like, especially towards the end when things got off the rails, and them quitting and them getting their lives back together and him getting back with his wife and all this stuff. And I was, especially after Tommy died, I was so invested in like, okay, now you guys really have to quit. And Mads, after they decide to kind of stop the experiment, I don't think he drinks again until the last scene. And I was so invested, like, come on, man, you got it, you got it, you got it, you can stay off of it. And then just finally seeing him cave at the end and just start drinking and dancing around and shit. I don't know, it really was just,
Influence
I was
of
very, very sad because I was
opium
like,
of
it
his
just told
friends.
me, I'm like, they're not gonna be able to stop. They're just gonna and that to me was so sad. He finally, his wife is like, I miss you too and shit. And him just reading that, knowing that she wants him to quit drinking and knowing that's what he needs to do in order to make things work and choosing to drink and dance around and jump in the river anyway, that was just like, he's not going to ever get his priorities right, you know?
Especially with Denmark, like, can you escape that? Like, yes, you can not do it, but like you're in an environment where that is constantly there and in your
True.
face, and that's where it's so interesting to see that the characters at the beginning are on surface level they're chill dudes, and then you get to see them really like grow into actually being good people, like with Mads changing the class around, the teacher helping the kid who was crying because he was failing, um, the coach helping Specs like encourage him, and like there's all this stuff that's so positive with it, and then it just dives so heavily in the wrong way, and it's just this giant roller coaster of like, will it
But
be,
again, to
not be?
me, that's the point is like all of the things, all of the benefits of the drinking at the beginning, they're all things that they could just do without the alcohol. Like, I mean, like him being a supportive coach to Specs, he doesn't need alcohol to do that. Like Mads
If you
being
look at that kid,
exciting,
if I
being
took a good look at
excited.
that kid, I probably wouldn't.
Say what?
Sorry, I was gonna say, if I took a good look at that kid, I probably wouldn't encourage him. You should probably get
Well,
something out of change
I mean,
from
also,
soccer.
if they could have done it without the alcohol, then why weren't they doing it, you know?
Because they're fucking depressed and it's because
And
of
the
their
alcohol.
mentality. That's why. It's because like they have absolutely they're acting like because have you both seen Backrooms?
No,
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, cover your ears. It's I don't think it's that big of a spoiler, but you know, the point of Backrooms is like Chiwetel is blaming everyone else, blaming his wife, blaming everybody for like, oh, that's why I'm depressed and that's why I'm a furniture salesman and that's why I'm not an architect. And she's just like, it's your fault. Like you could go do all those things. You're just blaming everyone else, and the problem is you. And I think it's very similar here. Like he is blaming, like he's saying, like I'm depressed and my wife doesn't love me and I don't feel excited. And it's like, okay, but you're not trying. Like you could be. Like you're going through a midlife crisis and you're bummed out and you could be find pat because like
Well, to be
they're
fair,
not.
also, it wasn't just Mads who chose to do this. It was like all his friends, like,
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
you know, peer pressuring him.
All four of them are going through their own versions of a midlife crisis. Because you got the one teacher who's like, yeah, I never had any kids, and I'm just kind of bummed out with where I'm at. And you see Nikolai, he's just like, his wife is kind of, bitching at him all the time, and his kids are pissing on him
he
all
has
the
a
time
newborn. Yeah,
and they're all yeah, and they're all going through their own versions of we're going through a midlife crisis. We're not satisfied with where they're at. And one of the best lines to me was when he's just like, yeah, I think we're really doing good for these kids. They'll remember us forever. And the one teacher's like, they're gonna forget about us the second they leave this place, you know? Again, like the one thing that might make them feel relevant, it's like we're helping these kids. Like, no, they're gonna forget us the minute they leave here.
yeah.
Like they're all so unfulfilled. And but none of their lives are really that bad though. Like they're only focusing on the most negative because Mads in particular, he's got a wife, he's got two kids, he's got a nice house, he's got a nice job, and he can find ways to be positive about it. He's just not, and that's the problem. And he uses the alcohol basically as an excuse to kind of indulge in this midlife crisis. And that to me is more the point of the movie. They're all using the alcohol as an excuse because I'm just like, bro, literally, like you can do this without the alcohol. You can just be a good teacher and get your students excited, and like nothing's stopping you from doing that without the booze. I'm just saying that to me was the point. And that's what an alcoholic does is like, well, I need this to be able to function. It's just like, okay, no, you don't. Like, and if you're telling yourself that, you got a problem.
Well,
So I
I
don't
liked how
know.
at first it was an experiment though, and then it got off the rails. And I'm like, if they had quit, it would have been a, dope ass
Well,
experiment to do.
I agree, and I thought it was kind of interesting, like seeing them experiment with it at the beginning. I was like, that is kind of a fun, like hypothetical, what would happen if we all tried this out kind of thing. But yeah, and like again, like the biggest example to me is him taking his family on the canoe trip. I'm like, you can just do that. Like you're just not. Like you're just not excited about spending time with your family, and that's the problem. You don't need alcohol to be excited about hanging out with your family and taking them on a fun trip. You should do that on your own. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like that's the whole point to me. And that's why it's sad again.
The alcohol
To
should have been the
me,
cherry on top, not the whole ice cream sandwich.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. That honestly, that's a good way of putting it. Because I'm like, that is kind of, it's not that you can't drink. It's just that that should be, yeah, like the cherry on top, not the whole goddamn reason for you doing everything. It's, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one more thing I'll say before we, Jackson's frozen. He needs to pour some alcohol on his computer.
I was gonna say I'm about to start drinking a lot more. Now I'm feeling kind of bad about
I know. I think we.
myself.
What's the word? Yeah. I think Jackson, you're not helping either me or Sam not drink anymore.
That's fine, but
We're joking, but I do want to say the one thing before we like cap this off. The opening scene with the kids, and then that abrupt cut to black. I did not at the first when I first saw this movie. I was like, damn, I kind of wanted that scene to go on longer, and I finally was like, oh, I get it, because it's like how quickly that part of your life just ends. Literally, just boom, done one
well,
day.
and again, like to me, that's because at the that relates to the ending of the movie where it's like Mads is he's having fun, he feels free, he's dancing around, he feels loose. That's only for a fleeting moment. And then when you sober up, you're gonna have to like deal with whatever the fuck you did and go back to whatever. And that again is another big kind of theme of the movie to me. And one thing I want to say real quick because we haven't mentioned it yet, I just want to talk about Mads should have been nominated for this. He is one of the best perform, maybe honestly the best performance in a movie that I've seen him give. Like just phenomenal, phenomenal job he did. All four of the main actors were incredible, and each of them brought,
Larson, top tier.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
the
he
guy
was
who
great.
played Tommy, I think was fantastic, and all of them were. They all brought such a different kind of flavor to their characters, where it didn't just feel like four versions of the same character. It was like they all brought something different to it, and the wife was very good as well. Um, and yeah, just the whole thing, I was just very kind of shocked by the end. I was like, wow. Like, how could you take such a seemingly, if you watch that last scene out of context, it seems like a very kind of happy scene, you know? But I'm like watching this in the context of the rest of the film, I thought it was just like horrific. I mean, more than anything in the trial. And it really just kind of hit me
Mhm.
like a lot.
The
And I
shot
was,
where he finds out that Tommy died and it's like far away and he's just sitting at that bench like what the fuck do I do with my life kind of thing. Like there's so many subtle quiet moments that are just like that's the
yeah.
punch that's going to propel you into the next set of the movie.
And
Mm.
my last thing I'll say is to me, this is basically an alcoholic's version of train spotting. Like if you replace the heroin with alcohol, it's pretty much the same basic premise.
Yep, that's very true.
And that does stem back down to the socialization of drinking and how like I think in Denmark from the way I've experienced it through movies and stuff is it's a lot harder to tell if someone is starting to become an alcoholic and to make these poor decisions because bro fucking woke up in the middle of the goddamn road the next morning and he hadn't had numerous fucking calls. Stuart would be calling my fucking ass if I didn't come home that night. Like, at least I have people checking in on me. Nobody checked in because everyone just assumed everything was fine, but not everything was not fine. So,
That's a good point.
Yep, 100%. But yeah, I'm glad I chose it too. It was a good rewatch, and you know,
the scene where
fit
Spencer
with the
put the
three.
flower on his grave as well made me really emotional because when they sang the national anthem to him and everything. And that's how you know because he died, he is actually going to stay in those students' brains for the rest of their lives.
The scene where Specs like puts the flower on his coffin or whatever it was at the funeral or is just there, and I'm just that scene really hit me hard too. I was like, God damn, this movie is sad as fuck.
Yeah.
And
All right.
But if we are all done on another round, then I think well, we've had some fun in Denmark. We danced around and we drank and we made merry and we had fun. But now we got to head on back to America. And then once we get back to America, we're going to go on a little road trip. And we're going to drive all the way up to Washington and maybe even to Alaska if we have time, which was really clean before the thaw, apparently. Which, as Sam was talking about, I think before we started the episode, might have some very disturbing implications as to what she meant there. But yes, Five Easy Pieces, a long teased movie on this show. Mr. Holler's pick, take it away.
So yeah, I had to return Bob Ralphison to this goddamn podcast to fix the fucking issues I caused with Head. But instead, we have a whole other set of issues. Like, are you happy with your life? Do you like your wife? Do you like your friends? Do you hate your family? Do you like drinking? Do you like fucking working on an oil rig? The answer is no. Not in the slightest. Because life ain't spicy unless you're Jack Nicholson. And so picture this, folks. You're the big old Jack. You're just working at an oil rig with some people you know. Your wife, Karen Black, is, frankly, she can't keep a tune to save her life. So why the fuck are you with her? Because as you come to find out, you came from a prestigious music family where every single person in your family can play an instrument. Every single person has dedicated their life to music. But no, you left that life. You went to go become a new man, a new person. Lo and behold, though, that life pulls you back in, and you gotta go see your dying father. You gotta go see your sister. You gotta go see your brother who has a fucking neck brace because he sucked too much cock. You know, the usual. But are you gonna enjoy your time? Or are you gonna be a fucking raging, angry fucking person who has to deal with this goddamn fucking bullshit 24/7? Well, it is that. And so, I think this movie is possibly one of the most American films to ever exist, but also the most anti-American films to ever exist, because it is not about making a life for yourself because you end up back where you were. It's not about fucking building a job from the ground up because you leave that oil rigging job behind. It's not about fighting the man because you let the man take your fucking pseudo best friend because he fucking robbed an Indian reservation or some shit like that years ago and didn't know about it. It's not about loving your wife because you fucking leave her on the side of the road because you're a goddamn piece of shit. But it is about Five Easy Pieces. And one of those pieces really fucking gave me a goddamn traumatic experience watching this movie, because the second he started playing the piano for her and he played the Chopin Nocturne, which I have played before and learned through and through and had to memorize that shit. And then he just chalked it up and then he was like, well, I chose the easiest fucking thing I knew. The most stupid goddamn thing I could possibly have played for you. And I was like, fuck you. That piece gave me so much goddamn trouble trying to learn it, and you did it with ease, you fucking piece of shit. Greatest scene in the whole fucking movie? Right there. Right the fuck there. I love this goddamn movie. It's through and through. I think there's more I wanted out of the second end, but I love this fucking movie so much. And I really hope y'all liked it too, because Bob Rafelson fucking redeemed himself with this one. I think he took that shit and went hard because he knew after Easy Rider, which I also have never seen, that Jack Nicholson was a leading goddamn man, and he fucking gave him that role with this, and he fucking killed that shit. So, here we are, 5 pieces later, broken and jobless. So
Jack sure was easy back then. He was easy riding. He had 5 easy pieces. He was just easy. Things didn't get hard until later.
Forget it, Jack. It's Easy Town.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't-
It ain't easy being breezy, cheesy, and Jack Nicholson.
It ain't easy getting a side of toast.
No, it is not. Especially when it's not on the menu.
Yeah. Because, if you want a chicken salad sandwich and you want them to hold the fucking chicken, they better hold it in between their legs.
They
So
don't call them chicken thighs for nothing.
before we even get into anything, who do you think was in the wrong in that situation?
Oh, Jack Nicholson, 100%. I mean, I
As
I
someone who works in a kitchen,
appreciated
I could have
the
fucking made him
movie.
that goddamn toast any which way but loose.
They should have, but if you're at a place with no substitution, it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up and get what you can.
Just order it and then take it off. You fucking schmuck.
Literally, yeah, you could have just ordered the chicken salad sandwich, taken off the toast, and then.
My answer is the restaurant is wrong. Neither of them are. Because on the one hand, it's like you want to relate to Jack because it is such a stupid goddamn rule. And it's like, this shouldn't be that hard for you to just give me this. And that's valid. But as someone who has dealt with people like that before, you, as the employee, you just want to be like, okay, listen, this is not my rule. I am not enforcing it. Stop yelling at me. Like, if I break this rule, I could get in trouble and lose my job. Like, it's not about me, though she was being kind of snobby about it. So, there is that.
I would have
But
pissed in bitch's orange juice. But
I mean, I remember watching this the first time and totally agreeing with Jack Nicholson, and then this time I was like, bro, just chill out. You don't
just
gotta
having been on her end of it before, having people complain about, well, why is this your fucking rule? I'm always just like, it's not my fucking rule. I don't own the goddamn place. Like, stop yelling at me. Like, I agree it's a dumb rule, but that's the way it is, and I'm gonna get in trouble if I break it. So, fuck off. It's the restaurant's rule for having that. It's the restaurant's fault for having that dumbass rule in the first place. But anyway, Matt, I'll let you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, this movie moved me the first time, and it moved me this time too. Jack Nicholson is just so fucking angry this entire movie. Like, even in the scenes where he's not angry, you can tell there's like some shit going on underneath. And I watched this and The Last Detail back to back in college. And I was like, Jack Nicholson's a goat. I already knew it before, but those two movies just like sanctify it. And like so many different characters, but such a personality. And the way this is shot is so well done. Like, it's not trying to be too big, but some of the shots are just so fucking perfect. I love the atmosphere, and I think Jackson's frozen.
oh shit, he is. I'm gonna start barking at him like the dog. Har! Har! Get out of
when
here!
he
Har!
when he gets into the back of the truck and just starts playing the piano as it pulls away.
And it's
Great
so out of
fucking
tune. My head almost exploded. It's so out of tune, but he plays it so well. But I was like, Jesus Christ, it's like a half tone off. Like, fucking god damn it.
That was
That's why I was in
something
the back of the truck.
That was something I was going to ask you, Sam. I was like, as someone who plays the piano, how did you relate to this movie? So that's
Played it heavily
interesting to
because
hear.
my childhood piano is extremely out of tune, and I love the sound of it. But like, God, my head was about to pop.
And I just
That
love
is my favorite piece of all 5 of them, though.
I guess he does. But yeah, I mean, just it's one of those movies that like at first it seems like it's more of a relationship drama, and then it turns into like a bit of a road trip movie, and then it becomes a family drama. And I kind of appreciated that, how there's like, to me, there's like 3 different whole parts to the movie. Like the first act, second act, third act really weren't the same thing. It was like these are all different aspects of it. And the picking up of the hitchhikers was hilarious, like the conversations they'd have. And then like my favorite part was they'd say something and then they'd cut to like music and them driving on the road and then go back to the car. It'd be like that's the punchline of whatever they're doing. And then it just gets really fucking sad when he gets home. And like when he's on the ferry, gorgeous shots. I was loving it.
Cinematography in this is god tier. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Nicholson's the GOAT. And so are all the other actors in this. Like, they all, like, I don't know their names exactly, but I just know that they were killing it too, because like I felt like they were on par with him. It wasn't like he was just out acting every. He's like, it's like, what are you doing, other person? No, they're all killing it.
Well, that's why I
Um,
love Karen Black. Like her part is so simple, but because it's so simple that all the characters in his family view her as like white trash and like less than them, that I just love her like genuine like personality, like her excitement for him and her anger at him and all that kind of stuff. I think just seeps in perfectly with her role. So take that name badge off your tit.
well, the part when she was like, "Why can't you just treat me nice?"
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
a hard
"Damn."
line. That was a
Yeah.
really
On
hard
just
line.
the scene in the car where he just is about to leave and he comes back over and he's like, well, at first he says like, people are gonna hit on you if you sit here, and she's like, I hope they do, you know. And then he walks away and he comes back and he's like, I was just lying. Nobody's gonna hit on you. You look too pathetic, you know. I'm just like, God damn, man. Like, fuck you.
Like the
Like,
bowling scene, he was so fucking mean to her in there, and she got that fucking strike. Like she did her work, she did her thing.
But it was on the
yeah.
last fucking round, the last.
And before I let you take it, Jackson, I need a shout out because with fucking Permanent Midnight, I had a Gilmore Girls um, actress with fucking Miss Patsy, and then this time we had Babette on here, also playing a character named Betty. So.
The Gilmore
Sally
Girls are
Sally
everywhere.
Struthers is a great actress. I'll just say that.
Wild ass scenes in this.
Yeah.
Some wild ass scenes in this. But I'm before I even just because you just brought it up, that was one of the fucking craziest scenes in the goddamn movie to me when they're with her and the other girl, and she just is like, when I was a kid, my mom told me that the chin dimples are like God said, like, get the fuck out of here, basically. And whenever I would pray, I would cover it up so he might hear me. And then just hard cut to the next scene. I'm just like, wow. That was fucking nuts. It let me kind of know right off the bat what the energy of the movie was going to be. And it held that energy for the rest of the way through, and I liked it.
And shout out
Yeah,
Lois, man.
so this one was a long time coming because Sam, you said I think a whole season ago that you were going to get this in season three, and it took you a little bit longer, but I'm glad you finally got it because this is one I've been wanting to watch for a long time. Because I remember back about 5, 6 years ago, when I was doing my solo podcast, I had Matt on as a guest in an episode, and we were talking about 70s movies, and he mentioned this one a lot, and it got me interested because I think you had just seen it at the time, and you got me interested in it, and I've been wanting to kind of watch it ever since. Um, and because I also know it's like one of the most pivotal, like early 70s new wave movies and shit. And I wanted to redeem Bob Raffleson for Head, and just be like, all right, let's get a good movie on
Because he
here.
couldn't redeem us with his fucking head game. But
Indeed.
I redeemed it with my 400 blows to all
There
you
you
fucking
go.
people who have voted for it.
Yeah, I think that
Remember,
one's in the lead right now on that poll.
neck and
Um,
neck, driving it, keep going back and forth.
Matt, your cheating has finally come to an end because Pirates of Silicon Valley has not gotten a single
Oh,
vote.
I'm not surprised. I knew that one was going to be a effing fail.
Your
But yeah.
powers have waned, and
Well, next week, trust me, I already know my pick next week. Definitely going to be number one.
oh,
Fuck
okay,
you,
we'll
my
Yeah.
see
pick is gonna
about
be number
that.
one, you goddamn cunt.
Oh my God. But yeah, so seeing this again, kind of like another round, I watched it very late on a night where I wasn't exactly in the mood. And fuck, did I just lock into this thing from the jump. I loved this movie. And again, kind of like another round, it wasn't until towards the end when it really just kind of it all clicked for me, and I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here, and it's fucking beautiful, and the sum of everything you've seen by the time you get to the end. Because I'm just gonna start with this. There's a lot to say, but I'm just gonna start with this. Much like another round, one of the most memorable, haunting final shots
Mm.
I've seen in a good goddamn minute. That last scene of him just getting in that truck and just getting the fuck out of there and leaving her there. I was just like, beautiful. Just perfect ending to the movie. Absolutely. Just the way it's shot with all the gray fog around and just like the bleakness of their surroundings, everything about it just worked. And then just as the credits roll, you see her come out and talking to the gas station attendant and everything, and I'm just like, wow, he just couldn't do it, could he? He just couldn't fucking do it. And I read that apparently the original ending was going to be he like drove off of a cliff or something and he was going to die but she was going to live, and I'm just like so happy that they changed it because this to me was the way it needed to end. So I'll just say that the rest of the movie absolutely loved it. Jack Nicholson's character, kind of hated him from right off the bat. He was
He's
kind of just a
scum. He
piece of
is
shit.
scum through and through.
The
But
way he was treating her, I was very much not a fan of. The scene where he really lost me, like hardcore, was when he found out she was pregnant and he like was like, "Fuck this, I'm quitting, I'm getting the fuck out of here." And
it's not mine.
he's insulting his friend, just like, "Oh yeah, goddamn piece of white trash who lives in a trailer park is gonna tell me what to do with my life." I'm just like, all right, bro, fuck you, like all the way, you know?
Having
And the
that
other
like
guy's
happen,
just
and
like,
then the police come and arrest that dude right after, and his like actually genuine care, like running over, punching the dude, be like, "You're not gonna fuck with my friend." I was like, "Fuck!" Like I like you, but you're also a fucking horrible human being.
and that's the thing is what I do like is he's such a complicated character because there's so many moments in the movie where you just hate him and you're not rooting for him. And then there are others where it's like deep down you do care, you just don't know because of all your past trauma, you don't know how to express it the right way. Because that scene towards the end where he stands up to that pretentious asshole at the fucking family gathering who's like, insulting his girlfriend, and he's just like, what the fuck do you know about, like, you don't even deserve to be in the same room as her. You don't even deserve to like breathe the same air that she breathes and shit. Like she's worth more than you ever will be. I'm just like, so you know that. You just can't express that to her because you're just so fucking emotionally stunted, And it's sad and that's kind of the point of the movie is he's just very, which I feel like was true of a lot of people at that time, just very kind of lost, didn't really know who they were or what they wanted or anything like that. It's very kind of representative of the era that it came out. And it really is cool. Like the 70s is one of my favorite decades for movies for a lot of reasons. And exploring stuff like this, like where America was at, and just like cinema at this time being able to explore these kinds of themes. Like this was 1970, okay? The boom had pretty much just started for like the new wave, like officially, like it had been building and this is when it started. And seeing them kind of right there at the beginning talking about this stuff, showing these kinds of characters, discussing these kinds of subject matters, it's always very, very interesting to me because, it's done in a way where it's like very fresh, for the time. And it's very honest. And like that whole scene where the annoying hitchhiker lady is fucking in the back of the car just yapping and yapping about filth and everything's so filthy. Like the number of people in this movie I
Crap.
just wanted to hit in
It's
the
all
face.
crap.
I'm just like, yeah, there's so much crap. I've never seen so much crap. Whether it was her, whether it was Jack Nicholson, whether it was, the pretentious lady later on, whether it was the nurse guy who beats
I'm,
the shit
I'm
out of Jack Nicholson. I
thinking of
was
the
like,
two
I want to
ladies
hit
who
all
are
of
like,
you.
"Oh, you're the dude from the car commercials, but you're not wearing your wig. What's up with that?" And he's like, "If I'm gonna be honest with people, I'm gonna be honest with people. Why would I fucking wear my wig when I'm out in the
Low key,
real
that scene to
life?"
me, I was just like, this is just Jack Nicholson between takes, like just talking to two ladies. I was like, I can just see that.
And then ending up cheating on fucking Karen Black with him is just like fuck. Like I hate
Yeah.
you, but then like he does stuff that makes me love him. Like getting out
Leaving
of
it,
the
and
fucking car and just going to play piano because like fucking Christ, you're stuck in traffic. I loved his friend's little ukulele song. I was gonna pull out my ukulele and try to play that, but I was like, I don't even know what the. I think that's a song for the movie or some sort of like folk song that he was playing. So I was like, I can't find this thing to find the chords. But
yeah. But I think too, your review, Sam, I think encapsulates the movie pretty well. It's just like Americana at its, finest. It's just like this is It reminded me a lot of Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. That's kind of a theme we've got going on this season, where it's just about like the old ways are kind of decaying and the country is changing at this time, and just like how people are kind of navigating it, and just like what the American landscape kind of looked like at the time. Jack Nicholson is god tier in this movie, obviously, and everybody else. Karen Black is great. The extremely underrated Lois Smith, who is just one of those like Where's Waldo actresses who's in everything. And she was fantastic in this. Susan Onspach, who played the other girl he gets involved with, was great. Everybody was the Ralph Waite, who is in Cool Hand Luke as one of the prisoners,
Yeah.
comes back as the brother. He was honestly that scene made me laugh really hard, where she's just like they're arguing and he's just like, I don't know, penis envy, you tell me. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Because he seemed like such a like square guy, but then him coming in with like a barb like that was kind of surprising. But and him in that neck brace was kind of funny. But and him walking weird. Everybody was outstanding, but
It's weird because there were multiple people came back from Head, including Jack Nicholson, like the lady in the back of the car that was calling everything crap, and
Yep. Well, but what I was gonna say is Jack Nicholson in that he's god tier throughout the whole movie, but that fucking scene at the end when he's like talking to his dad was just like some of the best acting I've ever seen, man. That shit was insane. And the way it was shot, I give full props to Bob Ralphison and Laszlo Kovacs, the cinematographer, for just getting the absolute perfect shot, perfect lighting, so that you could see every fucking emotion on his face, like as he was going through that. Everything just kind of came together perfectly there. And I was reading that apparently Jack and Bob were arguing over how he should play the scene. Like Bob Raffleson wanted him to cry, and Jack was like, "No, I don't think he should," and they kind of went back and forth. And basically, Jack was like, "I'm just gonna go for it. Like whatever happens, happens. I'm just." And he went in it with the intention of not crying. He was just like, "I'm just gonna play it, like, and we're just gonna see what happens." But and then they shot it, and he just ended up breaking down as he was doing the scene, basically. And it feels like it.
mhm.
It feels so goddamn raw. Like that was not planned, but the emotion just swept over him and just channeled that reaction, which is kind of how the character is supposed to be in the scene.
Which
And because it just genuinely seemed to me like he was not acting in that scene. It genuinely seemed like that was real fucking emotion that just unexpectedly came pouring out of him. And so I
what I love
appreciated it a
is
lot.
that like he went all this way to see his dad, and they show that his dad is so far gone he doesn't even like know who he is, and then to
Right.
have that happen afterwards is like, I get why Jack Nicholson wouldn't want to cry because he's fucking angry, like he's mad at his dad and all this other stuff, but then just to release that emotion is just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where, if y'all are okay with it, I want to read something that was in my criterion. It was a long tangent thing, but it talks about the novel To a Scanner Darkly and how the author of that, Philip K. Dick, was he quoted, and they said this is the most fitting thing about Jack Nicholson in this movie is, I myself am not a character in this novel. I am the novel. So though was our entire nation at the time, and I feel like that really fucking hits that on the fucking nail. Really goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No doubt.
I love this movie so fucking much. I'm really happy I got to watch it, and it was going from the number 4 with the last one to episode 5 with five easy pieces was like, hey, I feel good having my.
Oh, I see what you did there.
So,
Very clever.
but
Oh yeah. I'm glad you picked it too. It was a great watch. And such a
Yeah,
fitting triple feature. Like
well, that's what
this.
threw me off was, frankly, Matt, keep it. But I thought that my special edition copy of Easy Rider that I gave you was 5 easy pieces at first, and then because I had the criterion of 5 easy pieces, and then I realized, oh no, they're 2 different fucking movies entirely.
Yep. No, I've got Easy Rider. You got me the VHS, and then I have the DVD you gave me, and then also I have 5 easy pieces on DVD as well. I just didn't bring it out because it was on Tubi, and I
So
hate having to dig.
I need to find a way to own Easy Rider and to actually watch it because I think I know the ending. It was pseudo spoiled for me, but I don't really know the context or anything. So,
I didn't know you'd never seen it.
mm-mm.
That's
Ah,
cool.
yeah, I could have sworn you'd seen it too, but maybe we had intended on watching it one day and then just never got around to it.
Well, you showed me the shotgun scene,
Huh.
so I think that's the ending. But
Well, I will never tell.
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm really happy to dive further into the history of cinema with the true Bob Ralphison film that should have been on this podcast from the
Well, and
get.
it's cool too because this kind of was, if I'm not mistaken, this was Jack's kind of first leading role.
Well,
Because
that's what I read was that he wanted to give him something more,
in
and
Easy Rider, he was a supporting. He was by far the standout of that movie, but he's still not the lead. But this was his first like major leading role in a movie, and I think it's cool to see that like this was kind of where his journey as a leading man began, and fucking hell did he prove himself here. I
mm,
also read that apparently the diner scene was based on the writer of the movie, Carol Eastman, actually seeing Jack Nicholson shove a bunch of shit off a table in a restaurant once. Like he's really had really done that before.
damn,
And she kind of like wrote it into the script, and I'm just like, okay. I guess he does get a little particular about his food.
huh.
Yeah,
So,
fair.
but yeah, very happy that you picked this, Sam. Goated movie, absolutely loved it. By the
The
time it was
generational
over,
run continues.
honestly, like you are on a you're on a hot streak this season.
I think we
So
all have. Like, I
yeah,
think
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
genuinely, I think we've all been picking pretty good goddamn. We've had some good lineups, and we're only 5 episodes in. So
Frankly, like since the Blood and Blood Out episode, this is the most like, fuck, this is cinema to me.
I genuinely like the number of movies that have kind of had that vibe for me. I'm just like in totally different ways, but yeah, I'm gonna wait till like maybe episode like 10 before I start testing the waters of my 99% run.
I'm
But
testing the
Gonna test
waters
the waters
immediately.
next week, but I fully changed my pick, which
oh, okay.
I'm really excited about.
I need something stupid. So after this week, I just need something I can turn my brain off and watch and enjoy and have fun. So
Heard.
Sounds good. I have no idea what my next one's gonna be, but we'll see. But yes, I think that about wraps it up for Five Easy Pieces. Thank you all for joining us yet again for another episode of Three for Three. Be sure to like, comment, and vote for me in the polls. If you don't, then I'm gonna throw dynamite at you. I'm gonna
Hey,
leave you on the side of the highway, and
at least I know Kate Winslet's not fucking voting for you.
well, so what? She's married to Richard Branson's nephew. There's no hope for Kate Winslet at this point.
She can keep
Um,
thinking Orson's a monster, but we know the truth. He's not a fucking monster.
yeah, that's just a joke. I love Kate Winslet, but I just don't like that she's married to that fuck. But it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, um, thank you all for joining us, and like and subscribe, all that good shit. And be sure to join us next week. We are, as Sam said, on a bit of a generational run, and we'll see how long that run continues. And
Because yeah,
you
I'm
all,
3 for 3 this week. There's
yeah,
no
yeah,
I'm
we
three
are.
for
I
three.
think
Yeah, we're
very
all
safe to
three for three.
say we are very much 3 for 3. This is one of the strongest 3 for 3s.
Which, sorry, thank you, Matt. I actually, when you said another round, was like, fucking goddamn it, I don't want to watch that movie again. That movie like had its place in my life, but now that I've like drank myself into some holes and then also gotten out of those holes, I think I needed it in my life a little bit.
Fair.
Um, but yes, bye everybody. We'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Like and subscribe and comment and don't vote for Jackson.
And vote for me.
Vote for
or
fucking
else.
Sam.
You'll be out in the middle of the ocean one
You know
day
what?
with your dog, and you're gonna find yourself dead one way or another. And you're gonna say, I should have voted for Jackson and not either of them.
Out of everything this whole rest of the season, I'm willing to have nobody vote for a single one of my goddamn picks as long as you go and fucking change the dirties from beating Cool Hand Luke on our list. Like, I am still fucking salty about that.
Got a lot of Matt Johnson fans out there.
Yep.
Oh,
Army
man.
runs deep.
Yep.
We got a
Yep.
couple. We got 5 upvotes on our Nicholas Winding Refn Reddit post.
Hey.
Okay.
So I think that's why Drive is like neck and neck with 400 Belows because people are.
At first, 400 Blows was like the only one that had any votes, and then Drive kind of shot up a lot. So
I'm gonna go into the IBM and Apple Reddit pages and start posting the link just to boost my votes.
Yep. But
Yeah, we'll
I think
see
Man with the
next week.
Golden Arm is in the lead on that poll now. So
I'm happy for you.
yes,
That
I need
means-
something.
Fuck, I guess all 3 of us have won an episode now. And you won 2, Jackson. Fuck you.
What was the other one?
Obsession. Which was
Yeah,
the
Oh, well, that was
Yes,
kind of
that was a little bit easy.
that was kind of a Hail Mary, yeah.
Yeah.